During the last stages of the studies, one starts looking at a suitable job with the hope that his or her hard work will eventually pay off. And I'm sure you also would be in the same boat. However, due to various reasons, jobs opportunities in the current situations are much reduced, with the result that the competition has become more tough. There are many stages before one may succeed in getting a job of a satisfactory work profile. These stages include initial preparation, evaluation of the advertisement, preparation for the application, updating your CV, and finally facing an interview. Hello everyone, I am Dr. Anubhavalia, Director in leading training and executive coaching firm Prism Philosophy in New Delhi. In this session, for preparing for the job market, various chain of activities are there. Every stage has become some crucial point which one should try to understand and adapt to enhance the chances of success. In this particular video with me, you will learn how to evaluate an advertisement vis-a-vis your aptitude and qualification, how to prepare the application for the job, how to make your CV impressive and attractive, and how to prepare for personal interview. So you will be able to evaluate a job advertisement, write an application for a job, write your own curriculum vitae, and prepare for the personal interview. It is always better to start making initial preparation for facing job market while there is still about a year for completion of your studies. Before choosing a particular sector, think about your own strength and weakness. Think about what makes you unique, what type of experience and perseverance you have, which puts your head and shoulder above the rest. Have you held leadership position during grad? This is something which we really always ask. Even Thomas J. Starka commented, hiring committees know that such graduate students leader usually stand out. Don't underestimate yourself. Don't think committee members won't know how hard some of those minor accomplishments were. So some of the initial preparations I would suggest browsing the website. Yes, when I say the browsing the website of the organization, governments and academia for placements and looking into the advertisements in the newspaper and chronicles. Writing a cover letter, a very important element in your CV. And keep updating your CV every 6 months, and I genuinely mean it. Request for recommendation letters. Now, these are some of the very important steps that I am going to discuss today with all of you. The first step in preparing for the job market is to look for the advertisement which apparently offers the job you are looking for. But it is not wise to apply for every job openly without evaluating the advertisement for certain aspects, which is the long run may turn out to be more important for your personal peace, growth, satisfaction, and merely getting the emolument. Some of the important key points to be taken care in the advertisement before sending the application are: check the minimum qualification. This part of the advertisement is the most important. Read it carefully. If you have the desired degree or expect to get it soon, apply, otherwise not. Second, preferred qualification. In many advertisements, beside the academic degree, some additional preferred qualification are also desired, which totally depend on the nature of the job. For an example, if it is a job of data analyst, the preferred qualification may be knowledge of coding and to be well versed with the computer application. If it is the job of a private secretary, then it is very important your qualification may be a command on English language. So if you meet these kind of qualification, you can apply. In case you do not these qualification at present, you can start acquiring these proficiencies for the future openings. The company profile is the third most important. The most reputed companies, national as well as international, have their websites about focusing on the organization profile and other details are given. Read about us page where company's vision, mission are given in a detail of its operations are there. Here you can find the glimpse of the company's work, culture, types of people working there and the hierarchy. It will help you understand whether you can fit in there or not. Nature of duties and responsibilities. If given in the advertisement, read the duties and responsibilities of the job and evaluate whether you are prepared to take up these responsibilities or not. Are the working hours comfortable for you, and check whether how well you can work on it. Does the ad mention about the duties in shifts? Are you prepared to work in the second or third shift or even on weekends? Please explore all the information. Future prospects. It is better to get yourself acquainted with the future prospect in the company. It is a one cadre post or there are prospect of promotions to higher cadre also through internal promotions. If you are stagnant at the present post and the post offered in the ad is of higher cadre, you may apply provided other aspects of described above suits you. There is another important aspect is compensations, packages and sundry benefits. Read the compensation packages and other benefits such as medical reimbursement, paid vacation and so on. What is the retirement age, pension scheme? It will always help you to see the brighter side and betterment for yourself. Most important, the nature of job. Full-time, part-time or contract. Are you willing to accept a job on a contract basis? Is it a full-time regular job or a part-time job? After knowing all these details about your job advertisement, you decide to apply. Usually the employees prefer to receive an application letter in response to the advertisement because it reveals glimpse of the personality of the applicant to some extent. On the other hand, a resume outlines the skills and the experiences only. It is said that the first impression is the last impression. Through a nicely written application letter, the applicant has the chance to create his or her positive image. A job application letter is the first document that reveals your interest and it highlights the reason for applying the job. You can send it through through an email or you can send it through a post, but with this you will be seeing that it is accompanied by the resume. These days it is usually written as a email and the resume is sent as an attachment file. For writing a good application, as per my experience, it's very important to follow the 5 steps. First is the subject. In this, it should be a very important element to write in an email is a subject. In this, you should write to the point, brief and a catchy line. Just to give you an example, application for HR manager, job application for data analyst. So if the subject line is vague, it may end in the trash box. Some examples of poor or inappropriate subject line which I have witnessed in my corporate experience are interested in job in your company or application for job. I have also seen CV for job. Now, this doesn't showcase your professional approach. Second, salutation. In case name of the person is known whom the application is to be addressed to, it is always better to write the salutation as Dear Mr. Surname or Dear Miss Surname. If the name is not known, in that case use Dear Sir oblique Ma'am. The next important one is the first para. Mention the job you're applying for and how you came to know about this through advertisement or personal reference. In case of the advertisement, give it number, date, and name of paper or name of the portal. Example, this is with reference to the vacancy for the role of marketing manager as posted on your website. If you came to know about the vacancy through a particular reference, give his or her name with the designation. Just to give you an example, I came to know about the vacancy of HR manager through a member of your team member, Miss Shalini or Miss Shalini Kaur, designation if you can add, but before writing the name, seek his or her permission, which is very important. The second paragraph is focuses on you highlighting briefly about your skills, achievements and experience relevant to the job. Here your language should be normal and not superlative. To give you an example, I completed Masters in Commerce and Accounts and Finance from IIM Ahmedabad and received a gold medal for securing first rank in 2020. I have total 3 years of experience and so on. This gives a very clear-cut experience about you as an individual. After going through your ad, I feel that my skills and experience are compatible with your expectations and I'm sure to be able to contribute positively to your business. Now, in a sentence or two, mention what excites you most about the company. So to give an example, in this age of globalization, there are challenges as well as opportunities for the marketing managers, and I'm excited to face these challenges along with an expert team at your company. Here are some. You can write a sentence or two about your achievements in your current position. So, to give an example, in my current position as marketing assistant, I achieved remarkable growth in the sales of our products by at least 30% during the last financial year. Lastly, the last para. This is very important again. In this para, you express politely your eagerness to meet the hiring officer personally and thank him or her for reviewing your application. Example, I appreciate the time you have taken out to go through my application letter. I shall enjoy meeting you personally and discuss further details. Sign off with thanks and regards or sincerely followed by your full name, contact details below your name. So some tips for the job application letter I always recommend the students and the young generation is keep it concise and polite. Remember that high-ups are usually impatient and short of time. Thus keep the letter brief, evincing your skills and politeness. It should not be your autobiography. Proofreading is very, very, very important, I would say. It is very important that your application does not have any spelling or grammatical error because it will be your first impression, which should be positive in all aspects. When you do that, apply well in time. Apply as soon as possible, preferably within 2 to 3 working days of the advertisement posting on the website. Emphasize your skills and abilities. Stress on your skills and abilities, but briefly. Do not copy paste. The letters should be prepared in originality because copy pasting from other documents creeps in error often. Mention your contact details. That is, do not forget to give your contact details such as mobile number, email ID in the end. Let's explore curriculum vitae, which we call it CV. In Latin means course of life. It is a concise document which includes applicants' educational qualification, professional skills, proficiency, and experience. The purpose of the CV is to show applicants' ability to do the job efficiently. A shorter version of the CV is known as resume. Normally, resume is a one-page summary of the qualification and the work experience, whereas CV is long document of 3 to 4 pages which includes your qualification, publications, name of references, so on. Thus, the resume is formatted for the purpose of a specific job one is applying for, whereas CV is a comprehensive overview of one's achievement. It includes your awards, rewards, proficient skills, education qualification, and so on. So the sequence and the subheading in the CV should be taken care. It starts firstly with your name and contact details, followed by technical skills, professional experience, qualifications, achievements, reference, and interest. Let me take you them one by one. When I talk about the name and the contact details, the first name and the family name in bold text with the mobile number, email address, home address with a PIN code. It may also include a professional website and YouTube link if you have one. In the technical skills, the skills in the CV should match the skills wanted in the job advertisement. Example of writing skills. In this, you should be writing skills for public relation officer's job. So during 2016 and till 2018, you did and demonstrated efficient communication skills to convince the customers about the benefit of health insurance policy. Skills for graphic designer's job, developed current website for the company XYZ and designed the current logo of XYZ college, used infographics, digital printing, ad design, networking for a number of projects. Skills for data analyst, extensively used Excel, Oracle, SQL Server, and so on. Have a proficiency in the programming language such as Python, Java, and so on. With this, add the third aspect is professional experience. So most recent job experience should be written with the very clear-cut approach of your professional experience. And then it should be done in a reverse order. It should include the followings like job title, start date, end date, name of the employer, your location. It is really necessary and sometimes not necessary to list complete work history. Only relevant to the job should be given. It is better to keep CV concise. I'll give you an example here. If you're applying for a public relation officer's job, right from Jan 2018 to December 2019, assistant at reception XYZ Hotel Jaipur. Manage the reception in the peak tourist season. Job marketing manager, another option, June 2019 to Feb 2020. As a marketing assistant at Air Conditioning Limited in New Delhi, succeeded in boosting the sale of 30% within a year. Also remember, gaps in the work history. If you see that there is a certain kind of gap in your CV, please ensure you share that. And why have these gaps are there? It is because of acquiring additional skills such as planning, hospitality, budgeting, and so on. Mention that. If there were gaps when you were not paid, work on try to use these gaps as I mentioned. Qualification. It in this section, you will see the following qualification should be included from school qualification, graduation, post-graduation, certification, diploma, short-term work-related courses, work-related training, conferences, workshop, research paper if presented, online course if any. All these details should be brief as possible. The most recent one should be listed first and then reverse order in the followings. Achievements. If you have achievement for your remarkable work and certain significant achievements such as award or commendations, then in this particular section it should be included in the CV. It should first start with awards, then followed by the important contribution. This another aspect is the references. Some employers want only names of the reference whom they contact themselves, but others want their recommendation letter attached. There should be at least two references, out of which one should be preferably your current employer, manager or team member, and one could be from the known person, but not the family member. It is better to have any of the following like teachers, former employer, principal, renowned person in the field that will helpful for the employer. So here you can put their first name, the second name, current position, mobile number with an email ID. The potential references should be informed about including their names in your CV and the name of the organization you have applied to. It is very important. And lastly, interest. It is optional and should be given only your interests are relevant to the job or may attract attention of the employee's interests such as leadership skills, community work, and may be given but hobbies like watching TV, going out with friends, shopping, kind of things should be avoided. You need to be working on following should not be included in the CV. So I would say don'ts, right? Photographs, date of birth, age, marital status, fancy fonts, work ex and interest are not relevant to the job, wrong details of the work ex and a funny email ID. Please ignore such things. So you can refer various samples of the CVs on the screen and you can use it for your code and you can apply in your day-to-day life. Now, facing a personal interview is an important part of the personal process of getting a job. As it will be your first face-to-face interaction with the employer, it is very important to make advanced preparation to it. Now, for that, it's very important. The first one is select a proper outfit. A properly dressed candidate creates a positive impression on the selection committee. So after selecting your outfit, make sure that it is clean and pressed and you should have appropriate accessory and shoes to go with it. Black shoes are really considered appropriate for the interview. The second one is greeting the interviewer. As you enter the room, greet the interviewer or interviewers if there are more than one with a sweet, pleasant smile. Doing this with proper etiquette and warmth will set the things going in the right manner. Read your CV. Keep a few printed copies of your CV handy in case a member of the selection committee wants it. Read it carefully so that you can talk about the skills and work experience in a very clear-cut manner. This will help to start the dialogue. Prepare the most common question of the interview. You should be well prepared to answer, tell me about yourself and why do you think you would be great for this job? Such type of questions are often asked. Try to be a great salesman and answer in a normal voice without any excitement or nervousness. Collect information about the organization. You should be well aware of the company profile, nature of the job you have applied for. If the opportunity arises, make a positive comment about the company and raise some intelligent question. Prepare for the salary expectation questions and negotiation. If actual salary was not mentioned in the advertisement, there will be a question. And the question is, what is your expectation about the salary? Try to be realistic while replying. Prepare your travel arrangements. There is a normally anxiety about the job interview for many reasons. Reaching the interview venue well in time may be another cause of worry, particularly if it is at an unfamiliar place or even at an entirely new city. To avoid becoming too anxious, prepare your travel plans in advance. It is very helpful if you can visit the place on the preceding day to get familiar with the route and travel time. Be aware of the day's news. You should be aware of that day's main news, that is headlines in the leading newspaper. I would suggest check Google News for the latest news from and about the organization too. Such a new product or services recently launched, a new plant opened, a new CEO hired, and so on. This is something which will always be beneficial for you. Thank before leaving. Say a polite thank you before leaving the space. If the interviewer officer shake hand warmly. So just see if the interviewer is extending his or her hand for handshake, then only you should do handshake. So during the last stage of the studies, one start looking for a suitable job with the hope that his or her hard work will eventually pay off. There are many stages before one may succeed in getting a job of a satisfactory work profile. These stages include, as I mentioned, initial preparation evaluation of advertisement, preparing the application, updating your CV, owning the skill of facing personal interview. The first step in preparing for the job market is to look for the advertisement which apparently offers the job you are looking for. And some of the key points you should look in an advertisement before applying for the job are like minimum qualification, preferred qualification, company profile, nature of duties, responsibilities, and so on. A job application letter is the first document that reveals your interest in the job. It highlights the reason for applying the job, and it should be short and crisp. There should be a good application with the 5 section as I shared in detail with all of you. Subject, salutation, name of the job you're applying for, your skills, achievement and experience relevant to the job. Here your language should be normal and not superlative. And you also must have understood the paragraph that you should be using to express politely your eagerness to join, to meet the hiring officer personally and thanking him or her for reviewing your application. We also discussed curriculum vitae, which is a concise document which includes applicants' educational qualification, professional skills, proficiency, and experience. And the purpose of the CV is to show the applicant's ability to do a job. The shorter version of the CV we also understood in detail, which we call it resume. Normally, resume is a one-page summary of the qualification and work or experience, whereas CV is of more than 3 to 4 pages, which includes a qualification, work experience, publications, names, and references, and so on. So I'm sure with this, you're all set to get into the market and get the most favored job as per your experience as well as your education qualification. With that note, all the very best for your near future. Thank you so much and happy reading.